All right, right now, so we're done with the lighting of this space. Now, we can continue the lighting for this space for a separate DB. And I've taught you how to do that. If you go to your toolkit, for instance, you go to the settings, you can then create another DB here. You see, add DB, you can say DBB or DB2, whatever it is you click add DB, okay? Then you make set active DB, you come here and you set the active DB, okay? That is how you create another DB and you just do what we did for this lighting in that distribution board. But what I'm going to do now is go to sockets. I know you understand that. Go to sockets is what I'm going to do now. So let's go back to our space. I'm going to copy this one out and let's do some sockets. Okay. So let's start with the room. I think it was 4.5, 4.6. So it's good. It's in a situation where you have the architectural drawing, you just look at it, you understand. But here, I'm just doing, just doing an instance here. So this is 4.6 by say 4.5 true. So let's go to so we move to the socket level. 4.6 by 4.5 by 4.5. Okay, so we are looking at the density. That's what we're using here. We can call this RW01 also, no problem. And circuit level, I like, remember I said I like P1 for my socket, so that will be P1A. So it's suggesting we have 6 sockets in that space, okay? 6 sockets. And remember, we set 300 watts per socket. That's why we have 1800 watts here. So if I want to override, say maybe I want to have more, or I want to have this saying this is the minimum for the density, okay, of that room, okay? This is the minimum, all right, per square meter for the density of that room. So if you want to override it, say you want to use 8, you can just override it here. That's if you choose to say you want to override 8, okay? So if you use 8 here, it suggested 6, you're using 8, so it will give you the load for 8. All right. So, but I'm not going to use 8. I'm going to use the suggested. So it is your choice. Okay. So if I've decided to use the suggested, I'm just going to add socket room. Okay. So that's that. So P1A for that room. The beauty of it is your choice. You can do all the measurements and then go and put it there. Okay. So from the room now, I can just go ahead. The toilet area, I want a shaver there. Okay. So I know this is about I don't even need to, I don't need to take any measurement. It's about 1.2 by 2.6. If I go there, I change this to 2.6 and I change this to 1.2. I call it R002. Okay. And it's telling me that I need 3 suggested points, but I'm using a toilet. Okay. So what I just need there is just 1 point. So this is one of the areas where you use the 1 point. So now look, this P1A, we have just 6 points. I want to put this one too on P1A. Like I told you, if you have more than 10 points, say you have 6 points, then you have another P1A and you have another 6 points there. That's 12 points on P1A, remember? But in the settings, we said the maximum is 10 points. What this toolkit will do is that it's going to split it such that P1A will now have 10 points. The remaining 2 points is going to split it into P2A. Okay. So if P2A has 4 before, P2A will now have 6 because it will split, it won't retain the 12 here because that's what you have done in settings. Is that intelligent? Okay. So that's what I want you to do. So right now in this situation, I'm not going to override 1. I just need 1 point in that toilet space. So it says suggested points using 1. So base load 1. Okay. And I'm still going to call it P1A. So I'm gonna add socket room R002. Okay. Now you see, now I know how many sockets I need here. I need six. I've decided I want to use one here. I need six here. If I want to just include the sockets, you know how to do that. I don't have to, but I can just do one so that it's looking like what we're doing. All right. So if you can look at it, so I have that's one, two, three, four, five. There's this high mount here. That's six. So according to what the toolkit gives to us, this room I have fitted with the six socket points. Then the toilet is this toilet space. I know it's a toilet, okay, so that's why I fit it with one. So because the socket uses the density square, that the density of sockets per square meter, that's what it used for an area. You understand what I'm saying? For best reasons, we purposely removed use case from the socket points. Okay, so that we have found out that is the best way to for it to work. Okay, for general purpose. So you know what you want to do for each of your space. So, but for lighting, I mean, lighting requires a standard. You understand, and this is also the standard for the sockets. Okay, per density socket density per square meter. Okay. All right. So now the next so we've done that. So this is what the toolkit recommends, and we've done that. All right. And this one we overrode it, and we have just 1 point there. And if it is 2 points you want to have there, you have your 2 points there. Okay. So let's go back to our toolkit. Okay, no, before we go back to our toolkit, let's individually just look at the kitchen now. The measurement for the kitchen, like I said, if you have your, the architectural drawing, that's 2.7 by, if you have the architectural drawing, this is easy. This is the step you won't have to go through. 2.7 by 3.3. So just go to the toolkit, just 2.7 by 3.3. I just make this one 3.3. I make this one 2.7. All right, room name. I've not, I don't know why I named the kitchen, but let me see, I think it was about R003. Okay. So it's saying that it's suggesting 4 socket points in that space. If I want to use more, I will use more. So how many do I have already? I have 6 here. I have 1 here. Okay, that's 7. If I have 4 here, that makes 11 in that space. Okay, but this is what's going to happen. I'm going to put the 4 there. I'll still put it on P1A so that you see how it's going to rearrange it later when we get to the load schedule. Okay, so I'm just going to use P1A because in our settings I say I don't need more than 10. So this one's going to make P1A 11. Okay, so will I override? Well, let me first I'm going to add for now. So if I need to override, I'll override. So you can continue to add all your before going to your, so you can finish the whole design on your toolkit even before coming to this place. Go to the toolkit, finish all your design, and just whatever the toolkit tells you, you just come and put it here. I'm just going to do it live here so that so 4 sockets, I can just decide how I want to do it. So if you look at what I've done here, I put a socket behind this for this chest. Then I put high mount over the cabinet here. Okay. Then here I put double socket also here for the one for the washing machine. Okay, at low level, and one for the macerator for the sink. That's what I've done here. So instead of 4, I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can go to my toolkit and override the 4 here. So I'll just say no. I'm going to edit. Okay, edit, and where is my override? Actual. So I'm going to override and make this one 5. Okay, so I'm going to update room. So it means 5 points now. Now you will see that this is 6 plus 1, 7 plus 5. Now I have 12 socket points in on one circuit, and I'm meant to have just 10. So you see how the toolkit is going to take care of that, okay, when we get to the load schedule. So I purposely did that. All right, so what other point do we need? So finally, the sitting area, take the measurement. That's about 3.5 by say 4.5. 4.5 by 3.5. So just 4.5 by 3.5. Like I said, you can do the whole design here before going to your, so let's call this what R004. Now I can call this P2A. Okay, I can call this P2A. Then what's it saying? I need 5 socket points. Because the sitting area, I might want to use more than 5 socket points, but for now I'm going to just add. Okay, so R004 is saying 5 points, but if I go to my design, let's see what I want to use there. So of course I'm going to use the whole family where my electronics are. So if you look at the sitting area now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 socket points instead. All right, so I'm going to go to the toolkit and I'm going to override. So I'm going to edit this one and I'm going to override to 7. Okay, so I'm going to update room. All right, so can you see 7? I've overridden it to 7, 2100 watts. So we're done. Okay, I think we have one more, the lobby. Let's just add that lobby. Maybe I just want to have one there anyway, so it doesn't really matter what it gives me. But let me just go see, take the measurement. I think it's 1 meter by 4.5. The last time we measured it, this is about 1 meter. That's it. It's approximately 1 meter, and this is about 4.6. So can go to the 1 meter by 4.6 by 1 meter. So it's telling me 4 points, but what I want to do is there is just two double socket, one double socket. So I'm just going to change this, override this to 2. I'm sure that's what I want to use. Okay, and I'm going to add socket room. Okay, I can make this what do I have there? R005 there. Okay, and there's some P2A. All right, so how many do I have on P2A? 7 plus 2, that would be 9. Okay, so I can have that on P2A, and I can add socket room. Okay, so if I go to my drawing, so I'm just going to take care of this. So I'm just going to just put double socket here. So I have my double socket there. So with that, I've taken care of the socket points for this space. All right. So, and I have them in my, so I have my lighting. If you look at them, my lighting is done. My sockets done using the standard for socket density per square meters. Okay, it's properly done. The ones that I overrode, like the one in the toilet, I overrode that one, and the lobby, I overrode that one. But the ones in the room, I used the standard. Okay, and the one in the kitchen, because I needed more point for more use case, I overrode those ones too. So it's very flexible. Okay, very flexible. It doesn't cage you. It doesn't fix you to a point. You're flexible. Okay, so that's that. So the next thing we want to do is we want to begin to put in our air conditioning units. Very simple. Okay,